Have you ever checked your bank balance and thought, wait, where did it all go? You're not living extravagantly, you're earning decent money, yet somehow your savings account looks like it's been on a starvation diet. Meanwhile, your neighbor is rolling out in a new car. Your coworker's jetting off to Bali for the third time this year, and you're sitting there wondering if everyone else secretly took a class called How to Be Good with Money, and you missed it. Here's the twist that might make you feel better and worse at the same time. Most people aren't actually better with money than you are. They're just making different mistakes. In fact, many of those mistakes are so common, so normalized that people don't even realize they're financial sinkholes anymore. They look like smart decisions, responsible, adult, logical, but in reality, they're stealthy wealth destroyers. My name's Jung, and I've spent way too much time studying one question. Why do so many people stay broke even when they earn enough to live comfortably? If you're tired of watching your paycheck vanish like magic smoke, hit that like button and stick around, and because what I'm about to share could literally save you thousands this year alone. The truth is, the world has changed dramatically over the past decade, but our spending habits haven't caught up. Things that used to be smart buys are now financial traps. Strategies that built wealth in 2010 can wreck your finances in 2025. And products that once added real value have quietly turned into profit machines for corporations, not you. Today, we're breaking down 10 things that are no longer worth your money. Not because you need to live like a minimalist monk, but because the math simply doesn't work anymore. These are purchases that used to make sense until they didn't. But before we dive into the list, let's establish a quick money framework, something to help you see where your cash is really going. Every dollar you spend falls into one of three buckets: growth dollars, money that makes you more money, think investments, education, or tools that increase your earning power; value dollars, money that buys you something genuinely useful or necessary, food, housing, healthcare; disappearing dollars, money that provides neither a return nor lasting value. It's gone the moment you spend it. Most people lose the financial game in that third bucket, not because they're reckless, but because they don't even realize they're playing. Many of the things that fall into this disappearing category today used to be in the value category. They once provided real benefits, but times have changed and the economics don't add up anymore. Let's start with a classic trap disguised as intelligence. 1. Investing in things you don't understand. We all know someone who got in early on some crypto coin, NFT, or hot startup. For every one of those people, there are dozens who lost thousands chasing hype they didn't understand. Here's the cold truth. If you can't explain what an investment actually does or how it makes money, you're not investing. You're gambling. And in gambling, the house always wins. The crypto boom, meme stock frenzy, and invest in startups from your phone platforms turned half the internet into amateur traders. And while some got lucky, most got burned. I've seen people wipe out years of savings because they followed tips from friends or influencers without knowing the business model, the risks, or even how to exit. When things are going well, you feel like a genius. When they're not, you convince yourself it's just temporary. Meanwhile, your money's evaporating. Knowledge isn't just power in investing, it's insurance. Every dollar you put into something you don't understand is a dollar you're volunteering to lose. The solution? Don't avoid investing. Just invest in what you can explain clearly to someone else. If you can't break it down in a few sentences, you're not ready to put money in. 2. Overpaying for car insurance. This one hurts because it's so easy to fix. Most people are overpaying for car insurance by hundreds of dollars every year, sometimes more than 1,000, simply because they've never compared rates. Insurance companies rely on laziness. They quietly raise your premiums every year, assuming you won't notice or won't want to deal with the hassle of switching. But in under an hour online, you could potentially save $500, $1,000 a year. That's a huge return for 30 minutes of effort. Imagine investing that savings, instead, over time. That's thousands of dollars compounding quietly in your favor. The secret millionaires of the world don't just make more, they optimize. They make these small, unglamorous decisions that add up to big results. 3. Airbnbs, from budget travel to premium headaches. Remember when Airbnb used to be the cheap, creative alternative to hotels? You could stay in a cozy loft, meet locals, and save money. Yeah, that era's gone. Today, Airbnb has evolved into a bloated system of hidden fees, confusing rules, and overpriced listings that often cost more than hotels. Here's how the trick works. You spot a nice place for $140 a night. Looks like a deal. Then you check out and see a $60 cleaning fee, $40 service fee, and random local taxes. Suddenly, that $140 room becomes $250. Meanwhile, you're expected to wash dishes, take out the trash, and strip the bed before you leave. So, you're paying more money to do more work. Hotels, on the other hand, now fight back hard. You can find a clean, modern hotel for $180 a night with no hidden fees, daily housekeeping, loyalty points, and an actual front desk when things go wrong. Hotels give you convenience, accountability, and consistency. Airbnb gives you uncertainty and a receipt that looks like a bad joke. For frequent travelers, this difference adds up fast. A few trips a year could mean hundreds or even thousands wasted, money that could have gone toward flights, investments, or experiences instead of cleaning fees. The platform that once democratized travel has quietly turned into an unregulated hotel chain, minus the standards. Here's the new rule of thumb. If your Airbnb doesn't save at least 25-30% compared to a similar hotel, skip it. The unique local experience isn't worth paying luxury prices to take out someone else's garbage. 4. Extended warranties, the retailer's favorite magic trick. Let's talk about one of the most profitable scams in retail, the extended warranty. You're buying a $700 phone or a $1,000 appliance, and right before checkout, the salesperson suddenly becomes your best friend. They look concerned, like they're about to save your life. Would you like to protect your investment? It's only $129. Sounds smart, right? Until you realize these warranties are engineered for one purpose, pure profit. Most extended warranties cost between 15% and 25% of the product's price, but less than 10% of customers ever file a successful claim. And even when they do, exclusions and fine print make approval a nightmare. The truth? The manufacturer's warranty already covers the majority of issues you'll actually face, usually for the first year or two. By the time the extended warranty even kicks in, most people have upgraded, replaced, or lost the product. Even worse, those who do try to use it often find the coverage doesn't include what actually broke. Water damage? Not covered. Normal wear and tear? Nope. User damage? Forget it. The paperwork alone is designed to make you quit trying. If you're buying multiple warranties a year, phone, laptop, washer, TV, you're probably wasting $500 to $1,000 annually on imaginary protection. That money could fund a real emergency savings account, one that doesn't come with small print. The smarter play? Skip the warranty, put that same amount into a repair or replace fund. After a few years, you'll have a cushion big enough to handle any breakdown, and you'll keep the interest instead of giving it to Best Buy. 5. Buying in bulk. When you don't actually consume in bulk, wholesale clubs and warehouse stores feel like money-saving heaven until your fridge starts looking like a biology experiment. Buying in bulk sounds like a good idea. Lower price per unit, fewer trips to the store, smarter shopping. But here's the harsh truth. If you're not finishing what you buy, you're not saving money. You're throwing it away in bigger portions. The average household wastes around 20% of its groceries every month. For a family spending $500 monthly, that's $100 literally tossed in the trash. And bulk buying magnifies that problem. Those giant packs of produce, yogurt, or meat look like deals until they spoil faster than you can eat them. Suddenly, your savings turn into waste. Even worse, bulk buying encourages overconsumption of the things that don't go bad. You eat more snacks, drink more soda, and use more paper towels because they're just there. The end result? You spend more money, eat less healthily, and feel like you're being responsible when you're not. The fix is brutally simple. Only buy in bulk what you know you'll use completely. Frozen items, cleaning supplies, and non-perishables? Great. Fresh fruit, dairy, and vegetables? Stick to what you'll actually finish. Being smart with money doesn't mean buying more. It means using what you buy. Small shifts like these, choosing a hotel over a fee-stacked Airbnb, skipping that fake peace of mind warranty, and being honest about your actual grocery habits can free up hundreds or even thousands each year. It's not about deprivation. It's about being smarter than the marketing tricks designed to make you feel smart while they take your money. 6. Sale items you don't need. The clearance trap. The clearance rack is where logic goes to die. You walk into a store intending to buy one thing, maybe socks, and suddenly you're staring at a 50% off sign for something you've never wanted in your entire life. But because it's half off, your brain convinces you it's an opportunity you can't miss. The psychology behind this is almost evil. When you see a discount, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical tied to pleasure and excitement. You feel like you've won something. Except you haven't won $40. You've spent $40 on an item that will sit in your closet until the next decluttering day. Retailers know exactly how to trigger this response. That's why stores are full of limited time offers, final sale, or members only discounts. The goal isn't to save you money, it's to make you spend it faster. Think about it. You save $30 on a jacket you didn't plan to buy. You save $20 on kitchen gadgets you'll never use. You save yourself right into a smaller bank account. Most people spend hundreds, sometimes thousands, of dollars every year buying discounted items that never add value to their lives. It's not just cluttering your space, it's clogging your financial progress. The rule is simple. If you wouldn't buy it at full price, don't buy it on sale, period. Sales aren't opportunities, they're traps wearing neon signs that say, deal. Your money deserves better than impulse decisions disguised as savings. 7. The gift-giving guilt. Loop. Few things drain wallets faster than obligatory gift exchanges between birthdays, holidays, weddings, anniversaries, and random office events. The average adult spends somewhere between $500 and $1,000 a year on gifts, most of which are either forgotten or unused within months. We've been conditioned to believe that the price tag equals affection. That generosity means buying more stuff, even if the other person doesn't want or need it. It's not love. It's consumer culture with a bow on top. Here's how ridiculous it gets. You buy your coworker a $40 gift card for their birthday. They return the favor when it's yours. You both spent $40, gained nothing, and probably would have preferred just not to do it. It's like trading money while Hallmark laughs in the background, and the waste doesn't stop at your wallet. So many of those gifts end up in storage, re-gifted, or donated unused. We're trapped in a cycle of polite financial self-sabotage. Everyone's waiting for someone else to suggest, hey, maybe we don't have to do this anymore. But no one wants to be that person. Breaking the pattern doesn't mean becoming the Grinch. It means being honest. Propose Secret Santa for your friend group or family. Set spending caps. Focus on experiences, dinner together, concert tickets, or shared trips instead of random objects. Or agree to skip adult gift exchanges entirely and focus on the kids. Real generosity isn't about the money, it's about the meaning behind it. Stop measuring relationships by receipts. 8. Paying for degrees that don't pay you back. Let's tackle the sacred cow, college degrees. For decades, the message was simple. Go to college, get a good job, live a better life. That formula worked when tuition was affordable and degrees actually guaranteed higher income. But in today's world, it's a financial trap for millions. Here's the harsh reality. If you borrow $60,000 for a degree that lands you a $38,000 job, you didn't invest in your future, you rented it at 6% interest. Student loan payments can haunt you for decades, making it impossible to build wealth, buy property, or take career risks. You end up stuck, educated, yes, but broke. The problem isn't education itself, it's unstrategic education. Too many people choose degrees without understanding the return on investment. They pick majors based on passion, prestige, or pressure, not on how the math works out. But guess what? Skilled trades, coding boot camps, and community college transfers often lead to better pay and less debt than many traditional degrees. The goal shouldn't just be to get a diploma. The goal is to use education as a financial springboard, not an anchor. Education is only a good investment if it pays you back, not just emotionally, but economically. Because when the numbers don't make sense, the dream of building a better future turns into decades of debt that steals your freedom. The truth about these spending traps, sales, gifts, and overpriced degrees is that they don't feel like bad choices in the moment. They feel responsible, generous, or smart. That's what makes them so dangerous. They wear the mask of good intentions while quietly draining your financial potential. 9. Daily spending habits that quietly bleed you dry. It's not always the big purchases that break your budget, it's the small ones you barely notice. That $7 morning latte, the $12 lunch because you didn't pack food, the $5 energy drink just to get through the day. They don't feel like much, but add them up, and suddenly you're losing thousands a year to pure convenience. Let's do the math. A $10 daily habit doesn't sound scary until you realize it's $300 a month or $3,650 a year. Multiply that by 5 years, and you've spent over $18,000 on fleeting comfort. And that's just one small habit. Most people have several. The worst part? These purchases provide zero lasting value. You forget about them hours later, but your bank account doesn't. Meanwhile, that same money, if invested even modestly, could grow into something life-changing over time. You're trading long-term freedom for short-term satisfaction. Here's the key. It's not about cutting out every coffee or treat. It's about becoming conscious of where your automatic spending goes. Because those little "I deserve this" moments, they add up faster than you think. Try this. For just 1 week, track every dollar you spend on non-essential items. No judgment, just awareness. You'll probably find a few easy targets to cut without feeling deprived. Redirect even half of that money toward your savings or investments. And you'll be shocked how fast it compounds. Wealth isn't built in sudden windfalls. It's built in tiny, daily choices that either work for you or against you. 10. Overpaying for housing, the dream that turns into a trap. Now, let's talk about the biggest money decision most people ever make: where they live. Whether you're renting or buying, housing typically eats up the largest chunk of your budget. And in today's economy, far too many people are house poor, spending 40%, 50%, even 60% of their income just to keep a roof over their heads. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Owning a beautiful home isn't the same as owning wealth. If your mortgage, property taxes, and maintenance costs are eating every spare dollar, you're not building equity. You're building stress. You're working to maintain a lifestyle instead of building financial freedom. The traditional advice says your housing should cost no more than 30% of your gross income. But in many cities, that's become almost impossible. And that's exactly why you need to be strategic. Because every extra dollar that goes into rent or a mortgage is a dollar that's not building your future. Ask yourself, do you really need that extra bedroom that sits empty? Do you need the prestige zip code? Or just the security of knowing you can afford your bills? Would renting for a couple more years while saving for a better down payment actually serve you more than rushing into ownership just because everyone else is doing it? The truth is, financial flexibility beats appearance every time. A smaller, affordable home creates room in your budget to invest, travel, or take risks that grow your wealth. A beautiful house that drains your cash flow just looks impressive until the stress sets in. Housing is not just shelter, it's a strategic choice that determines whether you can build wealth or stay stuck chasing paychecks. The bigger picture: stop funding the illusion, start building the life. So there you have it. 10 things that no longer make financial sense in 2025. From confusing investments and inflated insurance premiums to overpriced Airbnbs, unnecessary warranties, bulk waste, sale items, guilt gifts, useless degrees, mindless habits, and oversized housing. These are the silent wealth destroyers most people never question. But here's the empowering part. The moment you recognize these traps, you're already ahead of most people. Because awareness creates choice, and choice creates freedom. Every dollar you stop wasting on something meaningless becomes a dollar that can work for you. It can grow, compound, and build the life you actually want, not the one advertisers keep trying to sell you. The real financial hack isn't some secret investment or get-rich-quick scheme. It's the boring, consistent discipline of not doing what everyone else does blindly. It's saying no to the habits that keep everyone else broke, and yes to the long game. You don't have to live like a minimalist monk or cut out every joy. You just have to stop funding the systems built on your financial autopilot. Because once you stop wasting money on things that don't serve you, you'll finally have enough to invest in the ones that do. So if you're ready to keep more of your hard-earned money and start using it to build real freedom, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this is just the beginning of changing your financial story, one smart choice at a time.